Hey, you guys. Welcome to the live stream. What's going on? Been a while since I did one of these. Good to be back. I hope you guys all had a great 4th of July. I know I did. Let's see who we got here. Hey, Scream fan. How are you? Hey, DJ. Hey, Russell. Yes, please. Everyone, give the stream a like if you don't mind. It definitely helps the channel. Hey, Ryan. Yes, it is Friday. Happy Friday. I always forget what day it is, especially with like the holiday that just happened yesterday. I don't know what day it is. Awesome, DJ. Welcome to the channel. Hey, Ethan. Happy birthday. You were born the same year when Scream 3 came out. Nice. I was born the same year that the original Scream came out. Yes, all my mods are awesome. I'm not sure if any of them are here yet. Maybe as I go down the chat, I'll see them. But yes, I appreciate all of my mods. Hey, Alex. I did have a great 4th of July. Thank you. I hope you did as well. The party continues tomorrow for me. I have a block party to go to tomorrow, so I wanted to stream today because I probably won't be able to tomorrow, unfortunately. Things have just gotten really busy these past few weeks. A lot of things going on, like birthday parties, weddings, 4th of July. So hopefully that should all slow down after this weekend, and then I'll be back to streaming like every day pretty much. Hey, Melissa. Hello, hello. Hey, dude who loves movies. Yes, please, everyone give the stream a like. Hey, Wrestling God. How you doing? Good to see you here. I figured we could just talk some Scream theories and stuff today, so start dropping your theories and your comments about the Scream franchise while I catch up in the chat. Hey, Cursed Mole. Welcome. Hey, Sean. Welcome. Yeah, I was saying that I actually haven't streamed in quite a few days, so I'm glad you can make this one because I probably won't be streaming tomorrow or Sunday, so my next one should be Monday. Hey, TJ, thank you. Hey, Ray. Welcome. Hey, David. You're going to watch Friday the 13th, Part 8. Nice. You know what's crazy? Part 8 takes place, I think, in like the year 2000. I was recently rewatching all of the Friday the 13th movies, and like, if you do the math, because some of the movies, there's quite a big gap in between them, like within the movie itself. So part 8, I think, takes place in the year 2000, even though, you know, it was like the 80s or whatever. That's crazy. Hey, Emma. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Greatest Showman. I wish the party was hosted by Stu, although that might end up not being so good for everyone involved. Hey, Sebastian. Nice, Ryan. Let me know how you like Maxine. I have not seen it. I probably won't be able to see it. The earliest I'll be able to see it is next week. I'm not going to be able to see it this weekend, so hopefully I don't see any spoilers on Twitter or anything. I unfortunately saw spoilers for Abigail the day that it went to digital. I'll probably be able to see it in theaters. I want to see it in theaters. So hopefully I can go before it goes to digital. Yes, I think Stu killed Dewey. I also think Stu attacked Gail in Scream 6 and killed Brooks. Hey, Zork. Welcome. Excuse me. Let's see. I got a theory about Stu. Do you think the real reason why he became a killer was because all he ever wanted was attention because his sister always took the attention away from his parents? It's possible. I'm sure there's a lot of different factors that play into someone becoming a psychopath like that. Yeah, I mean, definitely, that's definitely possible. It's a pretty good theory. Yeah, so I kind of had this theory that it could possibly have been Charlie who killed Dewey. I don't necessarily believe that anymore. I do think that it was Stu, but that one line in Dewey's death scene, it's an honor. That is what Charlie said in Scream 4 to Sydney. So that was the first thing that made me think maybe this could be Charlie. And then there's a bunch of other clues in Scream 5 that point towards Charlie possibly being alive. I've done videos on this, so definitely go check them out if you have not seen them. Hello. I agree with you, Chris. Stu is also my favorite. Would you like it if Stu and Leslie Macher are the mastermind Ghostface killers in Scream 7? Yes, I would absolutely love that. That is like my dream scenario. And Christina Carpenter. I would like Christina to be involved. My day's good. Nothing too crazy going on today. Just streaming. I agree. I am hype for Stu to come back in Scream 7. Yeah, it's so funny to me that part 8 of Friday the 13th has like such 80s vibes, and It takes place in 2000, 2001. That's why I hope like Scream doesn't have that big of a time jump, because further down the road we can have a similar problem like that. Hey, Random Edits. How you doing? I have my own theory that Richie attacked Tara at the beginning of 5. Hot take, but there is evidence to say it couldn't have been Amber. Yeah, I definitely could see it being Richie. I'm honestly not sure who it is. The thing with Richie, though, because it's like you assume that it's Amber because Richie is in Modesto with Sam. But then there's a scene where when Richie and Sam are talking to Dewey for the first time, Richie says something like, I was with you that night to Sam. And Sam kind of just like nods along, but she seems like she doesn't know for sure. Like she's just kind of going along with what Richie said. And she can't really remember if he was with her that night or not. So I don't know. Hey, Jamie. Welcome. Do you think Charlie called Gail in Scream 6? No, I think it was Stu on the phone with Gail in 6. There are plenty of clues that point towards that. I did a video on that. There's so many clues in that Gail scene in Scream 6. We got a super chat from Silver Princess. My 4th was good. Thank you so much. I hope yours was as well. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me, but I still have not checked it out. I promise you, when I get off the stream, I will. These past few days have just kind of been crazy. Like, I had a birthday party to go to, a wedding. Yesterday was July 4th. Today, I don't really have anything going on after the stream. So I promise you, Silver Princess, I will check it out. Thank you so much for your super chat. I always appreciate you. I promise. After the stream. No, unfortunately, I can't see Maxine this weekend. I have a party to go to tomorrow. Sunday, I don't know. I probably can't on Sunday. So the earliest will be Monday. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Welcome. I hear a new rumor for Scream 7 is cliffhanger to Scream 8. I haven't heard this. I mean, I know people like speculate that and say that they want it to happen, but I haven't heard like an actual rumor of it happening. But I know people want it to happen. Can you cosplay in a Scream outfit to go see Scream 7? Maybe. I haven't really thought about it. But I have a lot of options that I could wear because I have dressed up as a bunch of different Scream characters before. I don't know if you've ever seen my video of it. This was like over a year ago. This was one of my first videos ever. It's a quick video too. It's like a minute long. But I dressed up as like 10 different Scream characters. So I could do Casey Becker. I could do Sydney. Yeah, maybe I'll dress up. I'm not live on TikTok right now. I might set up my phone in a couple minutes to go live on TikTok at the same time, but I'm not sure. Do you think Stu and Sydney will have a connection with a cult of ghost faces? But Stu will be the cult leader behind the mastermind the whole time. Yes, absolutely. I think Stu is the mastermind of the cult. I think it'll be revealed, and the cult will be going after Sydney. And I'm super pumped to see that play out. If you were forced to spend the day with either Ethan or Roman, who would it be and why? I know you don't like them. I like Roman. He's not my favorite, but I don't mind him. Ethan I can't stand. So definitely Roman, simply because he's less annoying than Ethan. He's a little bit more interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, Ethan's just so annoying. I could not, handle hanging out with him. Thank you so much, Zork, for your super chat. Just caught up on Pretty Little Liars Summer School. They did Dr. Sullivan dirty. She was an OG and they destroyed her character. Yeah. I don't know. I like that. So I didn't like her little bit of dialogue in that last scene, what she said about the girls, like, trust me, these girls are narcissists. I didn't like that. I thought it was like rude and kind of like you said, like destroyed her character. I do like the ending for her. I don't know if I want to say exactly what happened in case, I don't want to give away a spoiler in here in case anyone is not caught up on the show. But I like the ending that they gave her because it was something big, But I'm with you. I didn't like that little bit of dialogue that she had. But I'm eager to see where they go for season 3 and if any of the other original cast will make an appearance. Thanks for your super chat, Zork. I appreciate you. And thanks for moderating, as always. Let's see. Yeah, I could do Jill. I didn't dress up as Jill in my video that I was talking about earlier, but she is an easy one to do. You just have to wear a blue flannel. So I could dress up as Jill, I guess. I feel like I probably would do Casey Becker just because it's the most like obvious. Like to other people. People will know right away who I am. And maybe Sydney would be obvious. Or I could just wear a good old-fashioned Ghostface costume. But, I don't want to be sitting in a mask the whole time. Let's see. Wrestling God has another theory about Stu. Do you think he got Billy as his accomplice only because he felt bad about him for what happened with him and his dad and his mother? Or do you think he wanted to kill Billy for stealing Sydney away from him? I'm a little confused on the theory. Do you think Stu got Billy as his accomplice. Oh, okay. Only because he felt bad for what happened with him and his dad. I think if anything, Billy kind of asked Stu to be his accomplice. That's what I think. I kind of think it was Billy's idea to begin with, because Roman reached out to Billy. Let's see, who else do we got here? Hey, Fear the Phantom. I could do Tatum. I dressed up as Tatum in my video, and it wasn't that spot on. So I feel like if I dressed up as Tatum for real, I would kind of have to buy a costume because mine wasn't that great. I agree with this. This is one of the many clues that I include in my video. The dialogue with with Ghostface and Gale in Scream 6 really makes me think that it's Stu. You know, he said, call it nostalgia. And like you said, like, how would Quinn know that this is their first time talking on the phone? There's just a lot of clues. When Sam was on the phone with Ghostface, do you think it was Charlie who walked past Sam and Tara? I did at first. In case anyone here doesn't know what we're talking about, there's a scene in Scream 6 just before the bodega scene, where Sam's on the phone with Ghostface and someone walks by and it kind of looks like Charlie. I did at first think that this was really Charlie, but now I don't really think that. It's kind of been debunked, I think. Craven Something Scary here on YouTube did a video where he screenshotted it and raised the brightness, and you can kind of tell it's not Charlie. Plus the fact that Rory Culkin has said that he feels he's done with the Scream franchise. Yeah. Let's see, the chat always scrolls away from me, so I lose my spot. Richie is an underrated Ghostface. I like him. He's not my favorite. I also don't know if I would say he's underrated, but he's good. How would you feel if Stu had a son all these years that he's raising? I wouldn't mind it, you know, as long as we get Stu back. He can have a son, a daughter, a whole family. I don't care, as long as we get him back. Sebastian thinks Amber was Stu Macher's niece. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there who kind of think that. Definitely would be like a kind of a crazy twist. So I'm not opposed to it. Don't you think that now the fandom craves Stu in Scream 7, they would definitely change the villain to surprise us? Not necessarily. Because I have said before, like, even though I'm fully expecting him to come back, my mind will still be blown if they actually pull this off and actually do it. Like, I'll still be shocked. So, I don't know. I guess there's always a chance they might want to change it, but I don't think so. Would you like to see a relative of Casey or a relative of Cotton? I mean, if I had to pick out of those two, I think I'd rather see a relative of Casey. I don't really care for Cotton. He's not one of my favorites whatsoever. I mean, I would kind of like to see like the Becker parents again. It would be cool to see Casey's parents and what they're up to now. I'm so excited for the Dexter Original Sin Season 1, 10 episodes. Do you think we will have a connection with the original TV series in Season 7 or 8, Dexter? What do you mean with Season 7 or 8? I mean, I do hope that there's some kind of connection to the original show, because I'm excited for it also, but I'm a little hesitant because I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like no one but Michael C. Hall can play Dexter. So I hope there's some kind of a connection. Like, imagine if it's obviously a prequel show, but imagine it's like current day Dexter narrating it, like telling it from like in the past tense. Like, I don't know. It would be cool if we could somehow get Michael C. Hall involved. Maybe they'll do like flash forward scenes rather than flashbacks, just so we could see him. I hope they can get creative with it. But I am super excited that Patrick Dempsey was casted in the show, and so was Sarah Michelle Gellar. So those are two different Scream actors who are signed on for Dexter. So that's getting me a little bit more excited, and I hope it's good. I've had a few people tell me I kind of look like Amber. Hey, Paula. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Tyler. Did you get any good sleep or were you up watching Scream Theories? I got some good sleep last night. I was not up late watching Scream Theories. We got another super chat from Zork. Thank you so much, Zork. If they bring back Stu, he will become the new strongest Ghostface, taking the crown away from Roman. I sure hope so. I mean, he's had all these years to train and get strong and lift some weights. Yeah, hopefully. I definitely want to see, like, I just want to see a more violent Ghostface, I guess. And that definitely could be Stu. Because he's had all these years of, like, just plotting and plotting his revenge. So yeah, I agree with you. I hope he will become the new strongest Ghostface. Thanks, Zork, for your second super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see who else we got here. Are you familiar with the story Matthew Lillard tells about Wes Craven calling his mom to tell her he thinks her son is going to win an Oscar one day. I would love if Matthew won for Stu in Scream 7. I am familiar with that story and I love it. It's such a shame like that he's not a bigger actor in Hollywood. He is so talented and Hollywood really did him dirty. Like he should be bigger than he is. I feel like he wouldn't. Don't the Oscars kind of like snub horror movies? So, unfortunately, I don't see him winning an Oscar for Stu. But I agree. I would love to see that. In the opening of Scream 5, the footage of Amber is definitely live. Because when Tara gets the question wrong, Ghostface in the video raises the knife in threat while saying he's going to kill Amber. I don't know. I feel like it could also be pre-recorded. I don't know if it's live or not. I think it could go either way. But what do you guys think? Do you think that footage of Amber in Scream 5 opening is live or pre-recorded? Amber was nuts. When I first saw Scream 5, I really didn't care for her or her performance, but it has kind of grown on me. She has some good lines. I absolutely am going to watch the new Dexter show. I'm a huge fan of the original Dexter show, and I really enjoyed the sequel show, Dexter New Blood, up until they ruined the ending again. You know, I love the original Dexter, but the ending of the show sucked. So I was so happy that they were coming back for the sequel show. The whole season was great, again, just like the original, but again, they messed up the ending. They had a chance to redeem themselves and failed yet again. Do we want two former Ghostfaces as the killers, such as Stu and Charlie? I would love that. I don't know if they would do it because it might be a little too much. They might feel like bringing Stu back is already kind of like hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. So to bring back two ghost faces might just be like overkill. I personally would like to see it. I would love Charlie to be working with Stu. But like I said, Rory Culkin said he's done with Scream. So I would like it to be Jill because it was the original plan. She was going to come back for Scream 5 if they had made it, you know, a decade ago. And Emma Roberts recently said she feels she's not done with Scream. So just imagine they reveal Stu to us and, you know, our minds are blown and then they hit us with Jill also. I would lose it. It would be so good in my opinion. Oh my goodness. Alvaro, thank you so much. Wow, this is my first $20 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Let's see, what did you say? After Richie's death, do you think the cult forgot to take Richie off the Reddit post, giving Bailey a way to keep tabs on them? Then knowing when to strike when Jason and Greg planned on killing Sam and Tara. Let's see. After Richie's death, do you think the cult forgot to take Richie off the Reddit post, giving Bailey a way to keep tabs on them? Interesting. Maybe. Then knowing when to strike when Jason and Greg plan on killing Sam Tara. That's actually a good theory. I never thought of that. Because I have wondered, like, how did Bailey know what Jason and Greg were up to? That is a good point. I like that theory. Maybe Bailey was searching the Reddit page and keeping tabs on Jason and Greg. That actually makes a lot of sense. I would have to say that's a good possibility. Because how else would he know? Thank you so much, Alvaro. I really appreciate your super chat more than you know. Thank you so much. And I also appreciate you being a channel member. Speaking of channel members, I need to get my video posted for the channel members. I filmed it already. I just have to edit the video and get it up. So you can expect that to come in the next week. I probably won't be able to edit this weekend because, like I said, I have a party tomorrow. But the video for channel members is on the way. So stay tuned. Yeah, it's definitely up to the studio and whoever else is involved to bring Stu back. It's unfortunately not up to the fans. But I'd like to think that they pay attention to what the fans are saying online and kind of take a poll of the fans and see what people want more. I definitely think there are far more Stu supporters out there than people who don't want him back, just from what I've seen. So hopefully they want to give us what we want. Do you think Dexter and you take place in the same universe? I don't know. I mean, probably not, but that would be pretty crazy if they did. Do you think that the character Leslie Macher was intended on the part of Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, or do you think that she was created by these new writers? I think she was created by the new writers. It's hard to say. I mean, obviously, they didn't include her in the first 3 movies. So who knows if they had continued with the trilogy after Scream 4, maybe they would have, because I'd like to think that, you know, if they had continued Scream 5 and 6 back then after Scream 4, I like to think that they would have brought Stu back in Scream 6 back then as like the grand finale of that new trilogy. So maybe they would have included his sister, but I feel like she was created by the new writers. I hope they have the balls to kill off main characters and even bigger balls to bring Stu back. Totally agree. I'm with you 100%. Number one thing I want is Stu back, but we also got to kill some big characters. And I think that has to be Gale. I think it's Gale's time to go. Jennifer Carpenter would make an amazing Ghostface. Maybe she could be related to one of the past killers. Is that the actress who plays Deb in Dexter? If so, I agree. I think she would be pretty good. Yeah, Drew Barrymore has said that she would love to come back, but I don't think Casey's alive, so it would be pretty crazy if she had a long lost twin. Hey, Denisha. Welcome. I hope you had a great 4th of July. Paula thinks the Amber video was pre-recorded. Aside from Stu, what other former Ghostfaces could possibly have faked their deaths? Did Stu help fake them? I think Jill could have faked her death just because she was supposed to come back in Scream 5 a decade ago. So who knows? Maybe she is alive and has been in hiding for the past decade along with Stu. And maybe Stu has been helping her stay in hiding. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in Scream 7. Yes, Sarah Michelle Gellar will be in Dexter Original Sin. I'm super excited about that. I wasn't that excited for the show until that announcement. And so I think her and Patrick Dempsey are going to have some scenes together because I can't remember who, but one of them is the captain of the Miami Metro Police Department and the other one is the chief. Don't remember which one's which, but they definitely should have some scenes together. Tyler also thinks the Amber video was pre-recorded because Richie was with Sam out of town and the video was Amber doing her hair while Richie was outside. That was planned days prior. That's a good point. Although I do think it's possible that Richie was there because of what I said earlier. Like when him and Sam are talking to Dewey, he kind of convinces her that he was there with her and Modesto that night. But the way Sam nods is like she's kind of just going along with what Richie is telling her. And she doesn't actually remember if Richie was there or not. I don't know. When did Rory Culkin say he was finished? Maybe like a year ago. It was some interview. I saw it on YouTube. It was like a podcast interview almost. I think it was a woman who was interviewing him and she asked him like, would you ever want to come back? And he said, no, I feel like I'm done. I'll have to try to look for that interview. Do you think Charlie and Jill were a part of Stu's cult? I definitely think it's possible. I did a video on this actually like several months ago. I think it's possible. Just because like the original plan for Scream 3 was that Stu was going to be leading this cult of ghost faces made up of like high school students or college students. So I think certain elements of that kind of leaked its way into Scream 4 with like the cinema club. I think it's possible. Bye, Zork. Thanks for stopping by for as long as you could. If you're still here, I'm always so far behind in the chat, But if you are here, I appreciate you. And thank you for your super chats. Yes, happy Friday. Is anyone doing anything fun tonight? I'm staying in tonight because I've been going out a lot lately, kind of, and I have a party tomorrow, so can't get too crazy tonight because I can't be hungover tomorrow. What if Quinn was dating one of the boys and got intel on Richie's death and then showed it to Ethan and Bailey? Interesting. So you think Quinn could have possibly been dating like Jason or Greg? You should remake Who Killed Who in Scream 6. You got 2 scenes wrong. Maybe one day I'll redo them. It'll kind of be fun to revisit those videos like down the road because your opinions on the movies are always changing. You notice new things every time you watch it. But I do think a lot of those kills, like, we'll never know for sure. So, you might think I got them wrong, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. But yeah, definitely one day I will revisit that and maybe redo it. I still have to do mine for Scream 5. I've been putting off tackling that because it's a lot of work. You got to pay close attention when you're watching the movies. And sometimes I just want to enjoy watching the movie, I wouldn't mind completely new actors or actresses for Ghostface in Scream 7. I mean, I want Stu back, but for like his cult members, I'd definitely be open to brand new people. Kirby and Gail did a bad job looking into Richie's family in Scream 6. I'm with you. Kirby definitely was not great at her job. And Gail wasn't that great either, How did she not recognize Detective Bailey as Richie's father? Because in Scream 2, she kind of did recognize Nancy Loomis a little bit. She didn't figure out who she was, but there is a scene where she's talking to Debbie Saul and she's like, "Oh, I thought I recognized you," or "thought you looked familiar," something like that. Because Debbie Salt makes it seem like she attended one of her seminar things, but really it's because it's from her research of Woodsboro. So yeah, I'm surprised that Gail didn't recognize Bailey. Casey's ghost should haunt Sydney and warn her that Stu is not dead. That would be interesting. Hey, Paul. Is it possible that Vince or Wes was the person on the phone? Vince was plenty angry enough. Do you mean on the phone with Tara in the opening scene? I don't know. I mean, I definitely think Vince would be more likely to be involved than Wes. It couldn't have been pre-recorded because it's no coincidence that the knife was raised in threat just as Tara gets the question wrong, meaning it's live. Definitely possible. Although Amber hurt Tara, do you think she still loved Tara in her own sick way? Maybe. I mean, who knows what goes on in the minds of psychopaths like that? You know, like I think even though Stu had Tatum killed, I think a small part of him liked her, like maybe loved her. Maybe not though. I don't know. TJ thinks the video was pre-recorded. The proof was there when the video popped up. There was a number attached to it. Just pause the moment in the movie. Interesting. I'll have to look out for that next time I watch Scream 5. I love that, like, certain things like this, the fandom can be divided on it. I love that. I love that we can, like, keep the conversations going. Certain things we might never know for certain. Do you think Danny could return in a future Scream movie and become part of the core 5 and take down Ghostface? It's possible. I hope we see Danny again. I loved Danny in Scream 6. I was so looking forward to him returning in Scream 7. Back when we thought, Melissa was still going to be in the movie. I do think if they wanted to include him, even without Sam, it's possible if they wanted to. Will they want to? Probably not. But I do think it's possible he could return one day. What are your thoughts on Chad being a Ghostface in Stu's cult? I'm not crazy about that idea. It would definitely be a big twist, which I'm not opposed to. I always love a good twist. But I'm not crazy about it. Tyler thinks the video was pre-recorded. And Alex thinks it was live. Because they are Randy's niece and nephew, Chad and Mindy should come back. Yeah, I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them again. I think they could come back if they wanted them to. Are you going to watch the brand new Deadpool and Wolverine movie on July 26th? I'd definitely like to see it eventually. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters. I am a fan of the first two Deadpools and Wolverine. I haven't seen all of the like original X-Men movies, but the first one I ever saw was like the Wolverine origin movie. That came out in like 2010 or something like that. I love that movie when I saw it in theaters, and that kind of got me into X-Men a little bit. But yeah, I definitely will watch that movie eventually. Chris is thinking of staying in and watching Scream. Always a good option. I'm definitely going to have to watch a movie tonight. I just recently finished rewatching Stranger Things, the show, so definitely want to get back into movies. Hey, Frank. Damn, you really don't like Gail. Which house or apartment from the Scream franchise would you like to live in? You say Sydney's house. Yeah. I mean, Stu's house is massive and also has like a nice view behind it. But Sydney has that really big deck. Like the deck on the back of her house is massive and a great view also. So maybe Sydney's. I feel like Stu's house probably has some kind of a deck in the back also, and we just didn't get to see it. Kirby's house is also nice. We don't see like the exterior of it, I don't think, but the inside was pretty nice. Director of Scream 5 and 6 did not have the balls to kill off anyone big. There was no surprise element and the killers were super obvious. I mean, I think Dewey's death is pretty big. And Judy's is pretty big too. I do kind of agree with you though with Scream 6, you know. I thought they were going to kill off Gail. Didn't happen. I do think they could have been done a little better as far as like the killers and the surprise element. You know, there was no mystery, at least in my opinion. So, kind of agree with you. I still enjoy the movies. They're still great movies. Hopefully, Scream 7 is the best sequel yet. Hey, Mr. Jackson, happy birthday. Happy birthday and happy Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, I definitely think the Ghostface who attacked Tara could have been Stu. I definitely think Stu was on the phone with Tara. For sure. I don't know if any of you guys have seen my video on that. I did it like a couple months ago. It's called something like was Stu Macher in the opening scene of Scream 5. I do think Stu was the one on the phone with Tara. Hey, Jamie. Welcome. Bye, Paula. Thanks for hanging out. Why do you hate Ethan so much? He's just annoying to me. I don't know. Like his performance after the reveal is so ridiculous to me. I just don't care for him. Do you think Chad still misses Liv, even though he never mentioned her in Scream 6? I feel like he is not too heartbroken over it. I'm sure he's like sad that this happened to his group of friends, but clearly, you know, like you said, he didn't mention her. And he seems to have moved on with his life. I seem to be caught up in the chat. If it was live, how would Amber have time to finish her hair, dress up as Ghostface, run next door, and attack Tara at the exact moment that proves it was pre-recorded? I mean, Richie could have been the one to attack her, I guess. Have you seen the original version of Pretty Little Liars? It aired from 2010 until 2017. I watched most of the first season. It was very hard to follow. Yes, I when this show first came out, I was a huge fan. I was in 8th grade when this show aired, and I was obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Me and my mom used to watch it together actually, because my mom loves like murder mysteries. So she was into the show also. I remember it used to air on Tuesday nights, I believe. And I was absolutely obsessed. I feel like the first 3 seasons were really good. And then after that, it kind of gets like hard to follow along. I think the ending sucked. I think they dragged this out. I think they dragged the show out far longer than it should have been. It honestly should have ended at like season 5. I feel like that's a sweet spot for shows. 5 seasons. Anything longer than 5 is like too long. But yeah, the ending for that show, not great. Ethan thinks Richie killed Vince, Judy and Amber, and Wes. Definitely Richie. Deputy Clay was Stu, and Dewey was Stu. I definitely think Richie killed Vince because of how clean it was. It was just one stab to the neck. And Amber's style, I think, is more like stabby and frantic. Did you do anything special for the 4th? We set up a projector in the backyard and roasted hot dogs over the fire while watching Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Felt like being at a drive-in. Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. Nothing special. I grilled also, had some hot dogs and burgers, and just watched some fireworks, which was really nice. I thought about setting up my projector outside also, but I didn't. But one of these nights this summer, I definitely want to set up my projector outside. I've never done that before. I kind of took it easy yesterday because I actually went to a wedding the night before and drank a little too much, so I wasn't feeling the best yesterday. So I took it easy. And tomorrow I have another party to go to where I probably will drink too much again. So taking it easy on the days where I can. Do you think Tatum was secretly jealous of Sydney because she knew Stu had a thing for Sydney? No, I don't think so. I feel like Stu kind of kept that to himself and Tatum didn't know. Who do you think the killers are going to be in Scream 7? Definitely Stu. And then who knows, random people as a part of his cult, probably. The ghost faces in Scream 6 were over the top. The father was too clumsy. Ethan just came off as annoying, and Quinn was just doing too much. I agree with you for the most part. I was not crazy about the ghost faces in Scream 6. I feel like all three of them are my least favorite. Like in my ranking, the last three will be them. Or maybe Jason's in last place, but actually I probably have Ethan lower than Jason. What is your drink of choice? I always go with tequila or just a good old-fashioned like White Claw. But I love a good margarita or like tequila ginger ale I'll do, or just shots of tequila. I'm not a beer drinker. I never have been. I'm not a big fan. I'll only have beer if there's like nothing else to drink. Or if it's like the end of the night and I don't want to really have like more tequila and just kind of like sip on a beer. Never been a fan. When Scream 7 comes out, do you think people are going to dress up as Ghostface? Probably. I hope so. For Scream 6, I saw a very early showing, like, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe even a little earlier. So my theater was not very filled. I didn't want it to be crowded, so no one dressed up there. Scream 5 I didn't see in theaters because it was like in the middle of COVID and places were shut down and stuff like that, and I just didn't see Scream 5 in theaters. The only Scream that I saw in theaters was Scream 4. And from my recollection, I don't think anyone dressed up as far as I can remember. However, with Scream 7, I'm going to have to see it on opening night. Like, I'm going to, it's probably going to be crowded when I go. So who knows? This is going to be like quite the experience for me. Hopefully some people are dressed up. Is there anything I can do to convince you to like Ethan a bit more? No, probably not. Yeah, I was kind of worried that it was going to rain and like affect the fireworks and stuff, but it held off. If the filming of Scream 7 is going to begin in September, which month do you think Scream 7 will most likely be released in? I don't know. It's going to need at least 3 months of filming. So September, October, November, Maybe they'll finish in November. And then obviously post-production. So I feel like it'll come out in the first half of 2025, hopefully. But who knows? It's hard to say. I've heard very mixed reviews about Maxine. I've heard bad reviews and good reviews. I do feel like I've heard mostly good, so hopefully I think it's good. Have you decorated for Halloween yet? Not officially. I mean, in my opinion, July 5th is the official start of Halloween season. Now that 4th of July is over, the only decorations I got is like my usual setup here. Um, but I really don't start decorating until like August. In one of your Stew Clues videos, you say sometimes people survive things, sometimes people don't. That's what keeps the debate alive. The same applies for Jill surviving electricity. Yeah, I mean, I think Jill could be alive. I would like that. If someone was throwing a Screamathon party, what are some must-have party favors in your opinion? What do you mean by party favors? Like things they give you to go home with at the end? Is that what a party favor is? Or do you mean like snacks? Favorite Scream movie other than the first one? Definitely 4. Scream 4. Are you watching Halloween movies in the Halloween season? For sure. So for snacks for the Screamathon, definitely got to go with popcorn, obviously. Some kind of a chip, maybe like Pringles. I love Pringles. What else? You need something chocolatey, maybe like Reese's peanut butter cups. And you need something gummy, like a gummy candy. I really like Nerd Clusters and Gummy Lifesavers. I'm a big snacker. I love snacks. Oh man, Jamie, that sucks. They're not playing Maxine where they played X and Pearl. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see Maxine in theaters. I want to. Maybe next week I'll go. It's just there's not one that close to me, so I have to travel a little bit to go see it. But I have really been looking forward to Maxine, so just might have to make the trip. Imagine we did a watch party on here just back to back. That would be that would take all day. I would probably start it like early in the morning for me so that I could Go to bed at a decent time rather than like start it at night and like stay up till the sun rises, because I can't really do that anymore. We got a super chat from Dim. Thanks, Dim. Writing a scene of Scream 7 versus be on the set for one day. Ooh, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna go with write a scene, because it would be so cool to have a say in some of what happens in the script. Obviously, my one scene that I write would be Stu returning. It definitely would be cool to be on set for a day, but I also would kind of be nervous to be on set. So I'd very much prefer to write a scene. Thank you so much for your super chat, Dim. That was a creative question also. I think Scream 7 will be a May release at the earliest. I would like that. You know, May will be here before you know it. Once we get through the holiday season, which goes fast, then we're in January. January is kind of long and depressing, but you get through it, and then February is a short month, and then after February, you have March and April, and then May's here. I could live with a May release. Bye, Ethan. Happy birthday. Oh no, now you have to make a 45-minute drive just to see Maxine. That sucks. But maybe it'll be worth it. That's not what I meant. I meant Jill surviving electricity doesn't mean Stu can too. Sure. I definitely think it's an argument that he can because she did. But sure, just because she survived electricity doesn't necessarily mean he did either. But I personally think he survived, so. I got another Scream theory for you about Stu. Do you think he got Jill and Ethan a part of his cult and all these other killers as ghost faces because their parents ruined their lives? That's interesting. Definitely possible. It's a pretty good theory. Who is your favorite female Scream actor? Probably Emma Roberts. I love Emma Roberts. I've been a huge fan of her since I was a kid. I've seen a lot of her movies. I will watch a movie simply because she's in it. Stu is so alive. I agree with you. What kind of relationship do you think Sam and Billy would have if he was alive? It's a good question. I think she would have a tough time. Like, she might be, he might be able to convince her to like kill with him. I think she would really struggle with between good and evil. It would definitely be interesting to see if he was still alive. I think it was a missed opportunity back in the day to not have a flashback of Billy and Stu fleeing the Marine murder. Yeah, I would love to see that. I think they can still do it, you know? They have the technology these days to de-age them and make it work. I like the cheddar Pringles. Barbecue's good too. And I love Milk Duds. I usually get those when I go to the movies. That's like the only time I get Milk Duds. Assuming Stu's not alive, Ethan has more durability than Stu since he got stabbed 5 times in the torso and a stab to the throat that was really deep. Well, Stu got stabbed 4 times, I believe. And he didn't get stabbed to the throat. Ethan did, which I think a stab to the back of the throat like that is far more like life-threatening than 4 stabs in the torso, in my opinion. I mean, Chad has survived like 30 torso stabs, so 4 stabs to the torso is nothing, and a stab to the back of the throat is like not good. If Stu is alive, Ethan could be alive too. If Stu can survive TV, then Ethan might too. Sure, it's possible. I a lot of people say that, and you know, just because Stu survived the TV doesn't mean that Ethan also does. Is it possible? Sure. But like I just said, I do think the stab to the back of the throat is in a way almost like a headshot. I just don't think there's any reason to bring back Ethan. Like, he doesn't need to survive. He's not important. I don't think anyone wants to see him again. There's just no need for it, in my opinion. Stu is far more important to the story. We got a super chat from Internet Explorer. Thank you so much. It's wild how the main character of Unfabulous grew up to be one of the most iconic ghost faces. Being related to Sid really messed her up. Yeah, it's crazy where Emma Roberts started. Unfabulous was the first thing I watched of hers, and I was a huge fan of the show as a kid. And ever since then, I was just like obsessed with her. One of my favorite movies ever is Aquamarine, the mermaid movie that she's in with JoJo, the singer, and Sarah Paxton, I think is her name, who plays the mermaid. Yeah, it's crazy to see Emma Roberts make her start in Unfabulous on Nickelodeon, and as you said, grew up to be one of the most iconic ghost faces. And just look at her career now, even after Scream. I love her. Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see. Are you in love with any character or actor in the saga? Yes, I'm in love with Stu and Randy. I love both of them so much. Yeah, I definitely think Ethan's stab to the back of the throat would have killed him anyway. I feel like he just got one last like jolt of energy, and obviously Kirby hit him with the TV. But yeah, I think he would have bled out or something anyway. Yeah, Chad definitely has uh quite the plot armor. I agree. Do you think Billy was ever a great Ghostface killer? Because in my opinion, he wasn't. I think that he was pressured by Stu, and he let Stu do all the killing. I mean, I definitely think. Oh, just so he doesn't kill anybody else, so he can save the last killing for Sydney. Um, I definitely think Billy killed some people. I don't think Stu did all of it. Um, I think Billy did the initial killing for Casey. I think he's the one who chased her down and stabbed her and strangled her. I always thought he killed Tatum, but now I'm not sure. That might be Stu. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think he was a great Ghostface. After Stu, Billy is my second favorite. Hey, Creative Graphics. Welcome to the stream. I do think I'm going to wrap it up. We've been going for an hour and a half, which is awesome. Time always flies by. It doesn't even feel like we've been going for that long. But it seems like I'm kind of caught up in the chat. And I have to go cook some dinner and do some other things. I gotta clean my house. Ethan would have most likely bled out from when Tara stabbed him in the throat, from when Sam stabbed him in the upper body. That seems more life-threatening than getting hit in the face by a brick. Yeah, like I said, I think he would have bled out anyway. All right, so I think Thanks, Ray. I hope you have a good day as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me. Been a few days since we did this. Like I said earlier, I probably won't be able to stream again till Monday, so I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully you do something fun this weekend. Which Ghostface do you think got beat up the most? I mean, Jill beat herself up. So definitely Jill. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend. And I will talk to you guys soon.